Okay, this video is going to be about bowing, one of the most common extended techniques that's being called for a lot more frequently in modern literature. And so what this is the technique of using a bow. In percussion instruments, usually a bass bow is the best one. A violin bow is too small, viola bow is too small, cello bow is okay, bass bow is the best, doesn't matter whether it's German or French. Using a bow to activate the instruments with friction instead of hitting them with a mallet. So, for example, if I hit the pitch F here, or I'll do C here on the vibraphone, we get one kind of sound. If we want a more sustained sound with no attack, then maybe we'll bow that. And so the bow needs to be rosin just like any other bow. The most important technical part of this is to make sure that the bow is exactly perpendicular to the bar. If you're at any sort of angle, you won't get enough friction against the bar to get it to ring. So it has to be perpendicular. You'll have to mess with bow speed and bow pressure just like you have to do on a string instrument. You don't want the instruments, for instance, like the cymbal over here, you don't want it clamped down so that it can't ring. It needs room to ring freely. So I have the three most commonly called for bowed instruments right here. So we have the vibraphone, a suspended cymbal, very common to hear bowed suspended cymbals. You can also bow gongs, but I don't have one here in the room with me. And then crotales, which I talked about in another video. Right, so I'll just go around a little bit and I'll bow some things so that you can hear what this sounds like. All right, so a couple different sound things. Couple different ways of bowing the cymbal. The results that you're going to get from a cymbal or a tam are extremely, extremely unpredictable. So you can't notate any sort of specific bowed sound, but there's a couple of different sounds that you can get. Usually the way that I will stabilize the cymbal is just to hold it at the top of the bell and then bow, usually up bow. But you can also down bow too. The other thing you can do is you can take wherever you're bowing and turn your fingers into a little U shape, and you're going to put that U on both sides of the edge of the cymbal and then bow between your fingers. Or you can actually pinch the cymbal so that it doesn't ring, and then once you get the result of that, then you can let go and the cymbal will open up and perhaps change sounds for you. All right, so that's a couple different ways of bowing the cymbal, and a couple different examples of bowing the different instruments. Again, there are other instruments you can bow, such as gongs, tams. It's even possible to bow brake drums and cowbells, and I actually found a way to bow chimes, but I've never seen it called for in a piece. You can also bow the marimba, particularly the lower pitches. Makes a nice sound, but doesn't have the sustain of a vibraphone, obviously, because the marimba doesn't have a pedal. All right, so that's a little bit about bowing. Most common called for extended technique for especially keyboard instruments.